My name's Paul Clark from Ornamental Cornices, and we'll give you a look out here what we do out in the factory.
Yeah, no worries. And if you ever need anything custom, these guys can get it done. Nice showroom, by the way.
So I'll give you a look out here what we do in the way of design work like this. We do a lot of design work. That's a one-off design. We'll actually get drawings, and we've actually modelled this up, and we've run this whole section. That's just a model of what that is. And then if you come out here, we'll give you a look at some of the other stuff I can find. There's bits and pieces here. I'll show you what we've got here. This type of thing here, that's another model we're doing. That's another project. That's a one-off for a large job down the coast, and all these pieces here actually get put on separately after. It gives you an idea of what that's all about.
I love this ceiling. So I'm here because I'm just getting some cornice made up myself, and I thought I'd ask if they want to show me around, and they were happy to, so here we are.
And to give you an idea, if you've got a curved wall, maybe in a set of stairs, and you've got a big curved wall there, well obviously this is a curved piece of cornice. It's made specially to curve around the wall. So there's that type of thing that's going to be run individually on the bench. We form it up with styrene and plaster and carve the shape out on the bench, and then we cast a section out of it to the radius of the wall. So it just gives you an idea of what we do. We run sections like this on the bench. That's actually tailor-made curves on the bench.
I love this. I love that.
Yeah.
So nice.
And incidentally, a lot of our stuff that we do today, we actually do out of actually, it's a glass reinforced concrete as well.
Okay.
So we're working with a new product here that all our different mouldings and cornices can be used outside, and it's out of a product like this. This here is not actually plaster. It looks like plaster. It's not. It's actually concrete.
It does.
Right. It's GRC, which is glass reinforced concrete, and on the back of this, we can still put the TCR in to suspend it. Now, the great thing with this sort of product here is that we can actually get this cut out of any shape you want out of styrene in our moulding. We can prep the surface of that, and we can make you a shape. So, say for argument's sake, you've got matrix panelling on the outside of a building, and you've got some curved walls you've got to do. We can do the radius of them curved walls, make it out of this product to match in with your matrix panelling. So that's just one instance, but there's a mountain of instances which you could use this product for.
So if an architect comes with you with a drawing, if he's got it on, digitized,
yes,
he can give it to you, and you can get it made.
Yeah. Basically, if you have a look down here, we've done some of these ceilings that you'll see. We've got some pictures on our Facebook page, but if you have a look down here. Plaster factories get pretty messy.
Yeah, they do. So cool.
This is a mould here. Made for the Levain apartments at Newstead. To give you an idea of what we do here. As you can see, that's a right and that's a left mould.
Yep.
And they're all curved like a domed ceiling. If you go into the job, you'll see what we mean. But that's actually styrene that's dressed up, surfaced, and then we pull our sections off there with the TCR on the back of it. Bit the same as that GRC stuff you've seen there.
Yep.
We do it in plaster. So glass reinforced gypsum or glass reinforced cement, we can do both. It just gives you an idea of what can be done out of plaster. Basically anything you want can be done out of plaster.
Yeah.
To reproductions, old cornices, it's an old reproduction mould we did the other week. That mould there was brought in like a piece of rolled up carpet. guys ripped it down, had to reproduce it up, and we've rolled it back out, pinned it up to its original state. A little bit of sculpting work on it, not a whole lot. Pull a mould off to do it relatively cheaply, and made about 20 lengths out of that plaster mould there.
And how long does that process normally take you guys?
That process there, if you bring us a piece in on the Monday, depending on how busy we are, usually it's about a 5-day turnaround.
Yep. Well, I know the piece that I bring in. Well, I didn't bring it in. I just said it was the old CSR.
Classic Cove, yeah.
Classic Cove. Yeah, you guys had it ready in like 3 days, so
Yeah.
it's really fast.
Yep. Some of the moulds that we get called for a lot, we've usually got moulds of them. But if they're not, there's so many different types of moulds out there and cornice moulds out there that are 50-year-old that you don't get, so you've got to basically reproduce them up again.
Yep.
It's not an overall costly process, but a mould like that to get reproduced up, maybe probably $1,000 or so.
Yep.
Once that's done, that's already made about 20 casts out of it. The mould's pretty well ready for the scrap heap.
Yep.
Unless they want to take it home themselves, they can and store it somewhere. But apart from that, they just go in the scrap heap. There's too many moulds that you've got to keep.
And you keep, are these all moulds hanging up here?
Yeah, they're all fiberglass moulds. They're long moulds. The reason being is that we can make 32s, 36s or 42s, 48s. We can make multiple sizes out of them, and we can produce it a lot quicker. We do have about 5 or 6 of one different mould, so we can produce that quicker. So we try to, at Ornamental Cornices, we try to get the orders out fairly quickly. We'd like to get orders made and get them out as quick as we can.
Yeah, I was really impressed with the service.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was really good. And here I am picking up my order.
Yeah. Also, incidentally, what we also do as well, we actually originally, we're probably one of the first ones to introduce fiberglass rovings into the industry, going back probably when I was a teenager, about 14. My father designed a gun that would actually chop the fiberglass into the cornice. So back in the day it was hemp and sisal. The hemp and sisal was getting a little bit of sap in it, and it was coming out the face of it when you'd paint it, and that's what wasn't a great thing to use back in the day. So they brought out fiberglass rovings, and this is what they call the Clark glass gun. And just to give you an idea,
Yeah, never seen that tool.
it just goes into, so that basically goes on our moulds, and that basically is how it's made.
How it's all tied together. Yeah.
Tied together. I could make you a piece of cornice and show you how it's made if you like.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do that if you like, yeah. This is ready to come out. I'll demould this one and I'll make a piece of cornice and you'll see how it's all made. It's quite a plain cornice. It's nothing too elaborate, this one. It's very plain.
Is that just a water or soapy solution?
This one actually is a water soluble release agent, and it's a cast-rolled product, and it's you mix 1 litre with 10 litres of water,
Okay.
and it's a good release agent. And you can use button tap and kerosene, but you get pinholes to it a bit more. This stuff is better for that. So it's just one that we've been using for a while now. So as you can see, everything's basically handmade. It's too many different moulds to make, so it's two hands. It's too hard to machinise it. Every mould's got a different characteristic and different thing. Every mould's different to make. that soak for a little bit. It's reasonably quick making it, but you've got to be on the move because the stuff goes off.
Yeah, once you do a mix.
And this stuff particularly is very fast.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's just the way that we do things with it, but it's very quick. No time for mucking about or the phone to ring.
Yeah. I know whenever we mix up mud, corner cement, that's it. No phone calls.
That's got heaps of time. This stuff heals up in about 15 minutes.
Yeah. How long have you been here?
We've been here for well over 20 years.
Yep.
But the factory's been going ever since Dad started when I was probably about 10.
Wow,
I started
really?
in the business when I was about 14.
Yep.
And I've been doing this ever since. I've worked for companies in Sydney called Sydney Plasterworks. Well, my main brothers back in the day, Italian family that used to be the biggest in Sydney.
Yep.
I worked there for a little while around Australia. Dad closed up around Australia. And then when he come back, I was put in Sydney for 2 years. We bought this business back. After selling it for probably 2 years, we bought it back again. I went in halves. And the rest is history, basically. Dave retired about 10, 12 years ago, so it's just me. My daughter Ashley, that was involved in the business for some years, she left and did her own thing, but she's probably knows a lot about this as well. So basically that's your fiberglass that goes on it, and that gives you your reinforcing. Keeps it all together. Next cut goes over the top. The next thing is to wet this all out. The biggest problem with it is people don't wet the glass out properly, and it gets air pockets in it and air bubbles, and that's the biggest trick with this. This mould is a relatively easy mould. There's a lot of tricky ones where they've got corbels on them and so forth, so I've got a fairly easy mould at the moment. And the main thing is to get all that glass right onto the edge of the corner so that it doesn't snap in your hand there.
Yep.
Pick it up. And the one thing with cornice is that the reason why we use plaster, people say, well, why don't you make all your stuff out of GRC, the cement, reinforced cement? Well, number one, it doesn't flex. Number two, it's that bloody hard. And with plaster cornice, you need to be able to mould it and shape it when you put it up. With that, I mean, if you've got a big massive cornice and you're putting a big massive cornice up, you really need to be able to scrape the cornice, rasp it, and be able to shape it when you put it up. Some point of glass too. Which the ability with plaster being a little bit softer and a little bit easier to scrape or carve makes it a great product for inside a house. Hence why we use plaster inside every building you see instead of concrete. And second thing with it is it's inert, it doesn't expand or shrink, so it won't crack. A lot of people use timber cornices only to find that they get cracking and movement continually with it because timber cornice does that. Timber will expand and shrink. Plaster is actually inert, it doesn't expand, it doesn't shrink. doesn't catch on fire. It's been around since centuries, and you can shape it and create all sorts of shapes with it. And it's relatively easy to work with. This just gives you a gauging on the back of your cornices just to make sure that your thickness is right to finish the back off.
While you mix that up, I'll just have a look over here.
Yeah, no worries.
Love these profiles. And you can do so much more with plaster than timber, like design-wise.
Design-wise, yeah. Whatever you want to design, we do running template moulds here, like carving out shapes of any shape you want. Any shape you want out of plaster, we can actually carve it, and we can actually make a plaster mould in the bench.
Yeah.
So yeah, you've got the ability to do so much with plaster. Like if we're doing a GRC piece, and we got a cast some on the bench where we usually run it, we usually make the mould out of plaster, and then we'll GRC out of that one. Let that sit for a bit.
So yeah, that's the process. I learned something here today.
Okay.
That's the process. I didn't know it was made like this.
Yeah, that's how it's made. And as I say, like, you know, I did use a machine when I was in Sydney back there at Sydney Plaster Works. We had an overhead gantry machine, which was good back then. But the market with fibrous cornice these days doesn't really lend itself to it. And with the machine they had there, you still did do it by you just apply the plaster and the ravings really, which wasn't a big thing. It was quicker, but it's still not totally machine made. It's still got the hands.
Yeah.
You know. And that template you run over the back, that's just to give it uniformity in thickness. So we try to get it sort of machine made, but it's still all comes up neat on the back wall. And then even thickness basically is what we trying to aim for.
Starting to take a nice shape now.
Yeah, it's starting to take a shape now. basically it. I'll just cut up the edges. All we do there is just clean up the edges.
Nice.
So as you can see, that plaster's just about gone hard. You can see how quick that goes off.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's what you want, nice and quick. That's it.
It's a good process.
Yeah, it's quite a simple process, but it's a simple process. It's not hard. As I say, that one's an easy one. When you get really intricate stuff to make.
Yeah.
Ones with corbels like we've got cornice now, it's got corbels. I know there's any in the racks now, but there was cornice that had big corbels on it and so forth. This sort of thing here. This
Yeah.
sort of thing here, you know. Like,
Yeah, I love these.
they get a bit more difficult to make. Yeah.
That looks so good.
That's a nice cornice setup. That looks really good up there, cornice. And you know, we've only made, I had that mould, I made that mould, so it's a one-off mould. We made that mould going back 3 years ago and only sold probably one house, this is probably the second house in 2 years.
So that's an order ready to go out?
It's not ready to go out, yeah. Yeah.
I'd
It
love
is
that at my place.
It's
eh?
a nice one up. It's just a lot of people don't realise, they don't sort of see it.
Oh, yeah.
There's like 200 different types of cornices, so which one are you going to pick? It's very...
Builders should really display and go, hey, do you want this for an extra whatever, because it changes the whole look of it, of the house.
Sure, yeah.
I got Cairo 4-step, similar to this,
Yeah,
at my place.
Yeah, that's a cardboard covered cornice.
Yep.
Yeah, that cardboard covered cornice is mass produced, and I'll show you another one that we do.
Yep.
That is actually that is a new product that we do, and I'll give you a look at what this is. It's called Easy Core, and it's a cardboard covered profile. Cardboard covered profile. So it's a cardboard covered profile.
Yeah, yeah.
Same as that up there. And the thing what you can do with it will go over 90mm cove like that over there.
Oh, it does. That's...
So you can put over 90mm cove because the step on the bottom.
Yeah.
So that way you haven't got to cut it in. It's very easy to put up 90mm cove. It's really good for
And you can just install it to what's there already.
There, yep, what's there already. It's a retrofit over 90mm cove.
Yeah.
As you can see, it just leaves that 10mm strip on the model. It's very attractive when you see it up in a whole house finished.
Yeah.
It gives you that extra dimension with that step on the bottom, and you don't have to cut it in when like with your paint.
Yeah.
So if you want to uplift your house, it's been newly painted, you won't have to touch your walls.
Yeah.
You put the cornice up and just paint the bottom edge to where, which is already white on your cornice, to the bottom. So that's that. Secondly, what you can do is you can do a light trough with it as well, which is a little light trough like this.
Oh, yeah.
You see, like that's got a. You can put the your lighting at the back here.
Yep.
And the cornice goes up, and you screw it in the face of it there, and it's quite strong and rigid.
Yep.
And
yeah, that's a good idea.
Just gives you another idea what you can do with it, you know.
A lot of people are doing light troughs these days.
Yeah, yeah, there's a lot of light. So that one there you can do quite easily.
That's nice too.
Yeah, that's just a mock-up mould of that one over there. That's the actual one there. We had to do to make this over here. We sculpted that there up, which is over here. If I can find it.
Look really good. How much, off the record, or on the record, how much would I like...
That one there cost?
How much, yeah.
What's to supply and fix or to buy?
Oh, just to buy. I'll fix
to
it.
buy that, there's probably around about the 18 bucks a metre, I'd say.
Yep.
Just roughly around the $18 a metre. it might be 20, around that sort of figure. And then to fix it, usually the same price it is to buy the cornice is the same price to fix.
Yeah.
Around that, maybe a little bit dearer sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, these
Depending
days,
how high the ceilings are and everything.
depending on how high the ceilings are, yeah. But if you buy the cornice and you want to know how much it is to fix, it's usually the same price it is to buy, thereabouts.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you're available to fix as well.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we do install as well. Yeah.
Nice.
We
All
do
right.
install as well.
Well, that probably wraps up our tour.
Yeah.
Thanks very much.
Yeah. No, thank you.
Yeah, really good. I'm going to pick up my cornice and I'll get moving. But yeah, that was really interesting.